Cohen disregarded that training, disregarded that tradition, and decided that he was above the law, and for that he was going to pay a very, very serious price.
All right, so around the same time that the Cohen plea was going down, a jury found Trump's former campaign chairman Paul Manafort guilty on 8 out of 18 counts that he was facing, including tax evasion and bank fraud. This is the first major trial of special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. Manafort actually has another federal trial that's set to start next month. Cohen is out of jail this morning. He's going to be sentenced in December, and both men are facing several years, if not decades, behind bars. Christian Ashley?
Okay, Megan, we'll be watching more on those stories coming up, much more on GMA this morning as well. We are less than 2 weeks away now from the first day of school. Today, Anne Arundel County's Board of Education is talking about just how prepared schools are to welcome back students.
That's right. So elementary school students, along with kids, starting as new students at middle school or high school in the 6th and 9th grade, will go back to school on Tuesday, September 4th. All other students will start classes on Wednesday, September 5th. But there are a few exceptions for Anne Arundel County public schools. 5 schools, Corcoran Middle School, Brock Bridge, George Cromwell, High Point, and Richard Henry Lee Elementary Schools will open 1 day late because of construction delays. So those schools also will open on Wednesday, September 5th. And speaking of construction, this morning the Board of Education will discuss the status of construction at the Crofton Area High School. It's the first new high school built from the ground up in the county since 1982. Also on the agenda this morning, an update on state-mandated water safety testing, which continues this fall. This comes after unacceptable levels of lead were found in the drinking water at 19 schools last week. It is 6:08. Baltimore City Schools teaming up with Baltimore Movement of Rank and File Educators, or BMOR, to bring more African-American educators to the city. Certification issues and racial discrimination make it difficult for African-Americans to get jobs as teachers in Baltimore. In Maryland, only 500 graduate from teacher colleges every year, and many head to the surrounding counties. One teacher said there's a disconnect between educators and pupils because they don't see enough of themselves in their teachers. Several forums will be held on the topic over the next few months. Lynette?
All right, Ashley, let's start you out this morning with a look at the satellite and radar, picking up where we left off yesterday, where we are nice and dry at this point. As we go through the rest of today, not going to rule out the chance for maybe a spotty shower. It is a slight chance, but the chance is still there. We will really dry things out as we head into tomorrow. We'll also have some sunshine for today, so don't think that we're going to be socked in like we pretty much were yesterday. In terms of a temperature change, it's out there, and it's for the cooler for the most part. We're about 4 degrees cooler when compared to yesterday at this time around Aberdeen, also around Thurmont. 5 degrees cooler in Frederick, and 3 at the Inner Harbor this morning. The temperatures are in the 70s, right around 70 at the Inner Harbor and more at Middle River, 71 in Chestertown this morning. We do have some upper 60s in Thurmont, Columbia this morning, and even Aberdeen. And this is how we'll continue to plan the rest of today. A little patchy fog out there this morning. We will see some sunshine, and temperatures will be nice and seasonal, coming in right around 85. Let's go to check the traffic now with Lauren.
Thanks, Lynette. Avoid 895 right now. A crash shuts down the southbound lanes at O'Donnell Street. You can see traffic at a standstill right now. You need to take 95 instead. Be sure to follow me on Twitter at Maryland Traffic for updates. There's also a medical emergency on 895. It's in Rosedale. It blocks the right northbound lane between Moravia Road and 95. There are 2 crashes on 83, both northbound, one at Northern Parkway, another right near the Pepsi sign. If you're traveling 695, there is a crash on the outer loop at Southeast Boulevard. It blocks the right lane. There's also a disabled truck on the west side inner loop that blocks the shoulder at Security Boulevard. Taking a look in Cockeysville at a down tree on Falls Road. That is shut down at Rises Court. Use the Harrisburg Expressway. There's also a down tree in Queenstown. Delrhodes Avenue closed at Route 50. All right, Lauren, thank you. It is 6:10. Healthcare costs won't be going up, at least in Maryland.
There's a new plan keeping down some insurance premiums, at least for now. Plus, a 3-year-old girl spent most of her life in the hospital. She's now cancer-free. We're going to show you how her doctors and nurses teamed up to give her that news.
Plus, torrential rains leaving people stranded at work and in their cars, where crews were called out for flooded roadways and several water rescues here in Maryland. .613, some top stories this morning. An undocumented immigrant has confessed to murdering a 20-year-old Iowa college student who disappeared over a month ago. 24-year-old Christian Rivera told investigators he pursued Molly Tibbetts while she was running. He was able to lead authorities to a body in a cornfield yesterday. The body was dressed in Tibbetts' clothing. An autopsy is scheduled for today, and Rivera will make an initial court appearance this afternoon. A Baltimore KKK leader who fired his gun during the deadly protests in Charlottesville last year has been sentenced to 4 years behind bars. Court records show Richard Preston was sentenced to 8 years, with 4 of those years suspended. Preston fired a handgun once toward the ground while standing on a sidewalk full of people. That was after he pointed the gun at an African-American man holding a flamethrower. No one was shot.
It is 6:14 right now. A Catholic priest in Pennsylvania is facing criminal charges after prosecutors say he inappropriately touched a teenage girl and sent nude pictures of himself to her. The Reverend Kevin Lonergan has been charged with sexual misconduct toward a minor, a 17-year-old girl who he had met at his church in Allentown. Lonergan's name is not among the more than 300 priests who were listed in that big grand jury report out of Pennsylvania last week, which found that 6 Catholic dioceses there had covered up decades of child molestation by Catholic priests. Today, we could learn whether Ohio State football coach Urban Meyer will be allowed to return to the sidelines. He's been on paid leave as the university works to determine whether he knew about allegations of domestic violence involving one of his former assistant coaches, Zach Smith. Ohio State's Board of Trustees will meet at 9 o'clock this morning. Meyer has not been involved in any team activities now for more than 2 weeks.
Hurricane Lane is moving closer to Hawaii, and it's forced the governor to issue a state of emergency. People are stocking up on water, food, and supplies ahead of what is now a Category 5 storm. The National Weather Service says this storm could be life-threatening. The center for the storm is expected to make landfall Thursday or Friday. Several airlines are issuing travel advisories to customers flying to or from Hawaii. And here in Maryland, some spots received heavy rain and storms. Multiple roadways were underwater.
A lot of rain yesterday. Take a look. This is Prince George's County. Look at all that water on the Suitland Parkway right there. You see it flowing all the way across. This is the Forestville area. Check out another water rescue. Old Ritchie Road, Capitol Heights, also PG County. 8 people stranded at a business because the water came up so quickly. Fortunately, the crews got them out of there and got them to safety.
New this morning, Maryland lawmakers say a federal waiver has been approved to hold down health care insurance costs. They say the Trump administration has approved Maryland's plan to create a reinsurance plan. Governor Larry Hogan has supported the plan, calling it an example of bipartisanship in Annapolis. A news conference is set for today to announce more details about the plan. And people across the country struggle with student loan debt. Now Maryland is trying to help. Applications are now being accepted for the 2018 Student Loan Debt Relief Tax Credit. It's available for taxpayers who racked up at least $20,000 in student loan debt and still have to pay off at least $5 grand. Applications are due by September 15th. We have a link to where you can apply on our website, WMAR2news.com. It is 6:17. Johns Hopkins University rounding out Forbes' list of top colleges.
They have 25 colleges on that list, and Johns Hopkins came in right there at number 25. Harvard, by the way, was number 1. Forbes takes into account how colleges and universities benefit students when it ranks them. This is the 11th year for Forbes to put out that best colleges list. Hey, big concert in Columbia tonight. Kenny Chesney coming to town.
Yeah, this is a big one. The country music star will perform at 7:30 at the Merriweather Post Pavilion. Tickets are still available for the concert if you're interested in going. This show is part of Chesney's Trip Around the Sun tour. Chesney is known for his hit songs like I Go Back and Don't Blink. So, Lynette, if anyone's heading out to the show, how are things looking for tonight?
I think things are going to be okay. There is a chance for a spotty shower, but that's about it. It should be dry. We're going to get some sunshine in here as the day goes on, so that sun-cloud mix. So not a bad start to the day, not a bad finish either. And really, things will start to improve in terms of the humidity as the day goes on. So as we work our way towards tomorrow, we are going to love what's going on. Lots of sunshine in the forecast and low humidity. Today is going to be that transition day. The satellite and radar not picking up on a whole lot right now. We are under, again, a few clouds, some sunshine out there. We do have some showers back off towards the west. Very spotty in nature at this point. The bulk of the rain really off to to the north and east, accompanied by this cold front, area of low pressure. And oh yeah, check out what's going on here. So we do have that tropical tracker. You guys were just talking about Lane. I wanted to show you what Lane looks like at this point. It is a Category 5 hurricane, and it's beautiful. It's a shame though that this thing is going to get close to the islands, maybe even hit the islands. Again, a Category 5 at this point. It will weaken a little bit, but all in all, Lane is very impressive. The wind sustained at about 160 miles and gust close to 200 miles. The movements to the west-northwest at about 9 miles an hour. Back here at home, we are going to be dealing with muggy conditions to start, but then as we go through time, we will start to lower the dew points, and with that, we are going to start to be more comfy as we head towards tomorrow into your Friday as well. The temperatures this morning, oh yes, we'll take them. These numbers in the upper 60s, coming in right around 69 degrees in Parkville, Edgewood, Aberdeen's at 68 degrees, 70s the further to the south you go, and even across the eastern shore, we have these 70s, mostly 70s, I should say. The only 60s that we're seeing, rising sun, we're seeing this around northeast and also Elkton. Futurecast, again, not picking up on a whole lot. We will get some sunshine out as the day goes on, but a few spotty showers not going to rule that out, I should say, as we go through the day. And then lots of sunshine in the forecast for Thursday. For Friday, lower humidity as well. That temperature trend looks pretty good for today. We're going to stay more on the seasonal side. We should be right around 85 degrees, and that's what I'm forecasting for today. This is what that 7-day forecast looks like. Again, beautiful as we head towards Thursday and Friday, and then it gets hot and humid again as we head towards Monday and Tuesday. Let's get a check of the traffic with Lauren.
Thanks, Lynette. We're off to a very hectic commute. You need to avoid 895. It is shut down southbound at O'Donnell Street due to an accident. There's also a medical emergency that blocks the right northbound lane between Moravia Road and 95. There are 2 accidents on 83. Both are northbound. Both are in Baltimore. One reported at Northern Parkway. Another reported right at the Pepsi sign. I'm also tracking 2 accidents on 695. One blocks the right outer loop lane at Southeast Boulevard. There is a new accident just reported on the northwest corner that blocks the outer loop shoulder right after 795. Taking a look at a down tree in Cockeysville, avoid Falls Road. It's shut down right now at Rises Court. Use the Harrisburg Expressway instead. I'm also tracking a down tree in Queen Anne's County. It's in Queenstown. Delroads Avenue blocked between Route 50 and Route 656. Route 50 is clear crossing the Bay Bridge heading into Annapolis. No delays on 97. Interstate 70 also clear traveling through Ellicott City. Ashley Christian. All right, Lauren, thank you. It is 6:21. Cancer forces a little girl to grow up at a hospital, but now she is in remission.
So doctors have announced that she's no longer going to get chemo with the song. We're going to show you how they did that coming up. And hear about the high-tech makeover at McDonald's. A lot of restaurants having you ordering not in person, but at digital kiosks instead. We'll let you know what customers think of that change. 621.
Good morning, Maryland. I'm Elsa M. Vegan Restaurant Week continues in the land of Cush's here, dishing up delicious delicacies for vegans and non-vegans alike. And time to toast the end of summer with the Cocktail Ninja. That's today only on Midday Maryland.
Good morning, Maryland. We've recently had our Clear the Shelter event at the Maryland SPCA. 47 of our pets have found forever homes, but we still have some pretty amazing pets that are waiting to meet you.
I was just thinking about that too. They did have that event, but you know, there's still lots of pets there that need good homes.
There are, yeah. Good morning to the Maryland SPCA. Polly, Uber, and Cricket, who you see on your screen, are just some of the many pets still looking for a loving home. If you'd like to add a furry member to your family, we have more information on our website, WMAR2news.com. How can you say no to those guys?
Let me just twist the knife a little further. Can you imagine all those pets that saw all their little friends being adopted out last
my goodness.
Come on, head on down to the SPCA. You can help out. And by the way, you can help us say Good Morning Maryland as well. Record that shout out. Send it to lauren.cook@WMAR.com. We'd love to have your shout out here on Good Morning Maryland.
All right, well, here's something else to pull on your heartstrings this morning. A little girl can finally say that she is cancer-free, and the video of the moment she found out is going viral.
It's great news. 3-year-old Hadley Gray received 4 rounds of chemotherapy over 6 months at St. Jude's in Memphis. She had an acute form of leukemia. Gray even had to celebrate her 3rd birthday in the hospital, but treatment's paid off. It's a tradition at that hospital to sing this song.
But now's the time we get to say, pack up your bags, get out the door, you don't get chemo anymore. Woo!
sang the song, tossed some confetti. And by the way, here's what her mom had to say about all this.
I'm home.
Oop, that's her. That's not her mom. That's her.
Her mom was probably taping it.
That's what
She's behind
she
the
had
screen.
to say about this. Good for her. By the way, got 1 million views on Facebook on that video. 1 million and climbing quickly. Good for her.
Adorable. All right.
6:26 right now. You don't have to wait in line for a beer. You can get a cold one now to come to you.
Yeah, the new option coming to M&T Bank Stadium, and if it'll be in time for the regular season. Plus, you can't get Girl Scout cookies right now, but you can start your morning with some of your favorite flavors, just in a different form.
You're watching the station that's working for you, WMAR2 News. Now, Good Morning Maryland.
Okay, coming up now on 6:30 on this Wednesday morning, August the 22nd. Good morning, Maryland. I'm Christian Schaefer.
And I'm Ashley James. Happy to have you with us. Two men with close ties to President Trump are now facing time in prison. His former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, and his former campaign chairman, Paul Manafort.
WMAR2 News' Megan Knight is live for us in the newsroom with the latest on all this. And Megan, the president, has he tweeted anything about what happened with his two former close advisors?
Well, nothing so far as of right now, Christian. I just checked Twitter before I came to the live desk. Haven't seen anything yet, but he is known typically for sending out tweets in the morning time, so I'll keep checking and let you know if I see anything. President Trump did, though, call the verdict against Paul Manafort sad yesterday. Also quick to say that had nothing to do with him or any Russian collusion. This is the first major trial connected to special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into Russian interference with the 2016 election. And after days of deliberation, a jury found Paul Manafort guilty on 8 counts, including tax and bank fraud and hiding foreign bank accounts. The jurors could not reach a verdict, though, on 10 other counts. Prosecutors have until next Wednesday to decide on how to proceed with those. Manafort's defense attorney briefly speaking to the press following that verdict.
Mr. Manafort is disappointed of not getting acquittals all the way through or a complete hung jury on all counts.
Now, switching gears, Trump's former personal attorney, Michael Cohen, also in the courtroom yesterday, now waiting for his sentence. After pleading guilty to 8 felonies, Cohen admitted to illegally paying off porn star Stormy Daniels and Playboy playmate Karen McDougal when both women claimed to have had affairs with Trump. Cohen said he did so, quote, at the direction of a candidate for federal office, which was Trump. Now, Trump had initially denied knowing about that payment before the White House said he did, in fact, know about it. Cohen will be sentenced in December, and Christian Manafort still has another federal trial that's coming up next month.
Yeah, that element about whether the president knew about it is going to be interesting. Megan, thanks. Meantime, the family of Jordan McNair, the University of Maryland football player who died earlier this year, showing support for the president of the university. Dr. Wallace Lowe has been under fire after accepting responsibility for his death on behalf of the university. WMAR2 News' Chanel Perriman is live for us this morning at the Inner Harbor. Chanel, the family wants the president to take over the investigation into their son's death.
Yes, Christian McNair's family appreciated the honesty and compassion that Dr. Wallace Lowe showed them, and they were confident in him handling the investigation. Now, the family's attorney, Hassan Murphy, had a press conference last night where he spoke on behalf of the family. Now, he says they were surprised by the sudden changes made in who was leading the investigation for their son's death. When the family met with Dr. Lowe last week, they were taken with him, and they were uncomfortable when the Maryland Board of Regents stepped in and took over the investigation. Now, Murphy says the family is tired of the back and forth and who will investigate the case, and they want to get to the bottom of what happened to their son Jordan.
What the family does not want and is concerned is happening is that Jordan's death and this tragedy be used as a political football in College Park to either settle old scores or exert and draw lines of authority and power on campus that have nothing to do with the actual facts here.
Now, the family is hoping that Dr. Lowe will take over the investigation, and they are hoping that he will not ultimately lose his job. Live at the Inner Harbor, Chanel Perriman, WMAR2 News.
Okay, Chanel, thanks. At 6:32 right now today, students in Baltimore City get some help to get their school year started right. United Way of Central Maryland helping to fill backpacks with new supplies. There's going to be snacks this morning at the event, which is going to be held at Hartford Heights Elementary School. Now we'll send it over to Lynette for a look at your Wednesday forecast.
All right, guys. Yeah, let's start you outside this morning. Actually, let's start you inside this morning with some weather alerts still lingering. So we still do have some green on the map this morning. And this is for Baltimore County, portions of Baltimore County and the city, and also around Hartford County this morning. Still watching coastal flood advisories going on across the area. The one for Baltimore County goes until about 9 o'clock this morning. And then the one for Hartford County goes until about 11 o'clock this morning as well. And then lastly, we do have a flood aerial warning again, creeks, streams, bodies of water until about 11:45, and that is, you can see that that lighter green coloring being lit up around Howard County, I should say, this morning. In terms of the wet weather, not really having it right now, but I'm not going to rule out the chance for a few spotty showers as we head more towards the afternoon. This is what it looks like outside. So this is where we're outside right now in Dundalk, where we do have a few clouds out there. We are going to be seeing some sunshine as the day goes on as well. So I do have a mix of sun and clouds. Looks pretty good in Dundalk. Did have a little bit of patchy fog in some spots this morning. Temperatures this morning coming in the upper 60s. We can see that around Perry Hall, 68, more the same in Ellicott City, 67s in Middletown and also Whiteford this morning. And this is what it looks like as we'll continue to plan as we go into the afternoon. That high temperature right around 85. That's exactly where we should be for this time of the year. Let's go to check the traffic now with Lauren.
Thank you, Lynette. Avoid 895, a crash causing heavy delays headed into Baltimore, but the southbound lanes have reopened here at O'Donnell Street. Traffic moving very slowly in the area, so you might want to stick with 95 instead. There was a medical emergency northbound to 895 that has cleared right between Moravia Road and 95. There are two crashes on 83, both in Baltimore. Both are northbound. One reported at Northern Parkway, another reported right at the Pepsi sign. Heavy delays out on 695. A crash did clear from the outer loop at Southeast Boulevard, but now there's a new accident you need to know about on the northwest side. That is on the outer loop. It blocks the right lane past 795. Speeds have dropped down to 18 miles per hour. There's a down tree in Cockeysville that blocks Falls Road right at Rises Court. Stick with the Harrisburg Expressway instead. There's also a down tree in Queen Anne's County. It's in Queenstown. Delroads Avenue is closed between Route 50 and Route 656. Not expected to reopen until 10 o'clock this morning. Ashley, Christian?
Okay, Lauren, thanks. Hey, it's already starting to feel like fall at Starbucks.
I'm ready for this. It's official. We now have the date when you can start enjoying those pumpkin spice lattes again.
That's right, the PSL. Plus, ordering meals at McDonald's. We're going to show you how the kiosks at the chain work. How about that? 6:35, you're watching Good Morning Maryland.
We still have roughly a month left in summer, but Starbucks, it's already feeling like fall there.
It's a rite of passage for the fall. The pumpkin spice latte, here's the date. August the 28th. That's when you can
Mark
get
the calendar.
The PSL. By the way, that's a week earlier than last year that it came out. By the way, this is the 15th anniversary of Starbucks pumpkin spice latte, caramel mochas, and pumpkin spice chai tea lattes also being available. 2 more drinks will be added to the fall lineup in September. Are you starting to feel it? Like you're ready,
I'm ready.
You know?
I'm ready. I'm not usually ready for fall, but I'm ready this year.
It's been so rainy. It just feels like maybe we're in Seattle drinking a coffee. You know?
Right. Time to move on.
6:38 right now. How about some more coffee? Dunkin' Donuts bringing back a favorite that they did try last year.
Yeah, some of your favorite Girl Scout cookie flavors are coming back as coffee flavors. So these 3 flavors will be back again: Thin Mints, Coconut Caramel, and Peanut Butter Cookie. The chain says they're also debuting a mystery flavor, and we'll learn what that is in the next few months. You can expect to see these coffee flavors available early next year. It is 6:38. We have more Good Morning Maryland coming up after the break.
You're watching Good Morning Maryland.
The trial for the man accused of killing a Baltimore County volunteer firefighter is postponed. A judge rules key evidence in the case against Daniel Green may no longer be admissible. The state's main witness says Green is seen on video breaking into John Hickey's Upper Fells Point apartment the night of his murder.
The detectives are interviewing the state's witness. It was obvious on that video that they were leading her, that they were encouraging her, that they were even telling her who the person was in this video.
The Baltimore City State's Attorney's Office appealed the judge's ruling. A bail hearing for Green is set for tomorrow.
Charles Village Pub on St. Paul Street down near Johns Hopkins Homewood campus reopens tomorrow. This closed after a grease fire in the kitchen back in May. No one was hurt in the fire. They're going to get the normal business hours going again at 11 o'clock in the morning to closing time starting tomorrow. Some locations of McDonald's are going to allow you to place your order digitally.
Okay, consumer reporter John Matarese checking out the new kiosk so you don't waste your money.
Next time you walk into McDonald's, don't be shocked if it looks a bit like a Panera or Starbucks. Thousands of McDonald's are starting to roll out major upgrades, updating their look and giving customers new ways to order. McDonald's is going digital.
So we're just going to go ahead and click customize.
Delana, an employee with lots of patience, was showing customers how to use the new electronic kiosks.
Chocolate milk, okay.
Jean Yinger said it was like using an extra-large phone.
I think it'll take a little getting used to, but it'll be awesome.
Little Evelyn was even more impressed.
It was really fun.
It was fun?
Yeah.
It's all part of a massive reinvestment by McDonald's, adding kiosks to 4,000 stores this year, along with new counters and decor. Franchise owner Erica Shadowin says customers are loving it.
It's easy, it's bright. People are excited to see the modernization and the changes that we're making.
And it turns out the kiosks are just part of the improvements coming to McDonald's. Once you order from a kiosk like this, you'll then get a sign to put on your table, and you'll get individual table service.
Grab a cup, and then you just take the number, you grab your drink and sit down, and they're able to find you, and they bring your food right out to you.
McDonald's says the kiosks are not eliminating any jobs and says cashiers will still be available. So why do it? Business Insider says customers order more from kiosks and says kiosk stores are averaging a 5% sales increase. Greg Weisland says long cash register lines send him back to his car.
There's some times where you've waited 10 or 15 minutes and it's like you leave and then they lose business.
But now he'll stay. Many stores are also rolling out curbside pickup where you order in advance on your phone and home delivery. It's all to get an edge in the rapidly changing fast food wars so you don't waste your money. I'm John Matarese, WMAR 2 News.
Also, when you're at the Ravens game, tired of waiting for the beer man or the concession stand, I got a new option for you this year. It's called Beer Cycles, which can carry up to 3 half kegs worth of Anheuser-Busch beers at M&T Bank Stadium. The vendor Airmark introducing these, saying they hope they will alleviate some of the long lines for concessions. Beer Cycles are going to be moving around locations where fans gather before the game. Team employee will then follow fans selling beer. 9 other teams in the league also trying these out. Do not get run over by the beer cycle. Watch what's up when the Ravens open their season here in a few weeks. Now we're going to send it over to Lynette for a look at the forecast for this Wednesday morning.
All right, let's take a look at what's going on in Manchester, as we do have a nice start to the day, really. Not too bad out there right now. We will have a mix of sun and clouds as the day goes on. It's a good start because yesterday it was cloudy. We were socked in. But you know what? The cloudy conditions really paid off as we went into the afternoon. Yes, we did have some strong thunderstorms that moved through, but if we had that sunshine yesterday, it would have been much worse. In terms of the dew points this morning, yes, they are up there, but I smile because they're not going to last that long. We will continue to go downhill with these dew points, especially as we head into tomorrow. These dew points will be back into the 50s. So we are going to definitely be dealing with some drier air on tap, but not so much as you're stepping out the door this morning. So just be prepared for the humidity to smack you in the face once again. Look at the temperatures, right around 70 degrees in Baltimore, 74 in Richmond, sliding down off to the south. Charleston's right around 77. Look at the interior though. Oh yeah. Look at Chicago, 59 degrees. That's going to be our weather in the next few days. So by tomorrow, we're going to be nice and comfortable, lower humidity that will linger right into your Friday. Satellite and radar, not picking up on a whole lot right now. We do have the chance for a few spotty showers as the day goes on, but we will stay mainly dry for today. Look at the wider view, still not a whole lot of activity. We can see the bulk of the activity now and the rain out into the Atlantic, and that's where we want it to stay. We don't want any more rain anytime soon, but unfortunately, oh yeah, Hawaii, the Hawaiian Islands, they are going to get dumped on. They do have the flooding concerns. They do have wind concerns, as well as that storm surge coming as we look at Hurricane Lane. Right now, it is a Category 5 hurricane. The wind sustained at 160 miles an hour, and those gusts up to 195. It's moving to the west-northwest at about 9 miles an hour. Main concerns as we head into Thursday through Saturday that this thing is going to get dangerously close to those islands, and it is really going to cause some problems for them. So again, keep your fingers crossed for them because it is going to be a rough go of things. Futurecast, not picking up on a whole lot as we go through today, but again, not going to rule out those spotty showers. We will have a nice mix of sun and clouds throughout the day. Ample sunshine, nothing but sunshine. You're going to want to take a picture and bottle it up by tomorrow and also Friday. Definitely going to get a taste of fall out there. Today's forecast is going to be on the average side, exactly where we should be for this time of the year, coming in right around 85. So par for the course. There's that sun cloud mix again, and a spotty shower is possible this afternoon. I'll have that 7-day forecast coming up, but now let's go to check the traffic with Lauren.
Thanks, Lynette. 895 has reopened into Baltimore, but a crash continues to cause